Just 3 days removed from these events, Americans do not yet have the distance of history, but our responsibility to history is already clear: to answer these attacks and rid the world of evil. War has been waged against us by stealth and deceit and murder. This nation is peaceful, but fierce when stirred to anger.
After September 11, 2001, there was a dramatic increase in domestic security. Airline policies became far more rigid, and any items deemed to be potential weapons were banned. The attacks also raised a sense of strong anti-Arab sentiment among the public, and caused many to live in fear of another attack. In the couple of months following the attack, there was a massive increase in the purchase of duct tape for people who wished to seal any parts of their home that could allow for the entrance of toxic substances. Such was the manic fear of biological warfare. This hysteria, demand for national security, and xenophobia culminated in the issuance of perhaps one of the most controversial bills in U.S. history, the Patriot Act.
Well, obviously it has, September 11th has a tremendous effect because it's the genesis of the Patriot Act. It was written by members of the Bush administration days after the attack. It was presented to Congress. It's a tremendous document that I'm quite sure most members of Congress didn't read completely.
What the Patriot Act is a curtailment of citizens' rights in America and a broadening of the powers of government to investigate. I think we gave up rights like to privacy in the Patriot Act, and that it's not overall going to make us any safer.
This is a public service announcement.
The following is a public service announcement regarding airline safety. The following items are prohibited from airlines. We ask that all passengers remove their belt and shoes prior to takeoff. Liquids of any kind, such as bottled water, shampoo, or toothpaste, are strictly prohibited in flight, for such weapons could be used in the manufacture of chemical weapons. No animals of any sort are allowed on the plane. No semi-automatic weapons. That is all. Thank you for your cooperation.
We're now, treating what had been largely ignored pre 9/11. Now is even small, minor things are considered a terrorist threat, which they're in fact not.
How many bombs have blown up in the United States because there were bags left?
We got code beta here. We got a lost code beta swarming team. Wait, stop. Get back. You should go back. Swarm it. Stabilize. What do I do? What do I do? Subject is getting belligerent. I repeat, subject is getting belligerent.
I suppose only something like 9/11 would have created an atmosphere where this would have been accepted by people in America. I think had that not happened, people would never have put up with it.
Well, from my understanding, what's happening is that the FBI and the CIA are starting to work together to gather intelligence, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. FBI is primarily supposed to be gathering domestic data, and the CIA international data, and for a long time those two agencies didn't work together, and they worked separately, and they didn't share information. Information sharing between those two agencies isn't necessarily bad. In fact, it's probably a good thing. So when there are things that need to be addressed, they can be addressed. Some of the areas of concern are when civil liberties of citizens are starting to be infringed upon.
Well, I think it has expanded their right to investigate, to snoop into people's business, to take information from people like librarians about what you're reading, bookstores about what you're buying to read, to look through your emails, things that had formerly been private, personal.
The various intelligence agencies also have the ability to listen into international phone calls or monitor emails, and in some cases without obtaining a warrant to do that type of surveillance. And that's particularly one of the things that might be troubling to a lot of people, in that the government doesn't need to get a warrant for that type of information gathering, even though many people believe the Fourth Amendment guarantees that particular...
Wow, the innocent book for my school project is going to be great. It's all about the Holy Month and inside the secret world of Osama bin Laden. Wow, Wikipedia sure has a lot of information about the jihad.
A lot of people lost their lives on September 11th. And the reaction to it, in certain regards, is justified. The Patriot Act, however, I believe, is not. A couple of years ago, a guy was arrested for pointing a laser pointer at a plane 20 miles away. Overreaction. You have to make that judgment yourself.